Alright, so the question is, should you summon on the new AoT banner? Well, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to take into account here. The biggest thing is, do you actually care about these characters? If you like Attack on Titan and you like the novelty of these characters, feel free. I mean, go for it. These are pretty much going to be novelty characters anyway. None of them are really like all that great. Some of them are better than others. Like the Levi is pretty good. Mikasa is really good, but only if she's like basically like completely maxed out on everything. Eren is kind of lackluster because the fact that you have to push all the way to get his ultimate and then have him transform just to change his moveset and get another like different kind of ultimate, it's not as good as you would think it is, because a lot of characters, an ultimate in this game is a lot better than having to transform into a different form. You would much rather just get that mass damage off. Like if you're running Eren and I'm running the Green Escanor and I get my ultimate first, you're going to transform into a different character and then I'm going to just hit you with a ton of damage. So he's kind of lackluster when it comes to that. Very cool as a unit. I do love the idea of transforming units and everything like that, but they're really going to have to tweak the way some of this works, or even if they were to make it to where like transforming units didn't have to get an entire ult gauge to transform. Maybe it was just like if the base unit got a transformation at level like 3 ult gauges or something like that. Like if their ult gauge was smaller when they're in their regular form and then got a full ult gauge once they transformed or something like that, then it would seem more viable in my opinion. But it's just kind of meh. Like it's really cool on paper, but it doesn't really work super well in execution. So I mean, a lot of these characters, it's really only going to work, like they're only going to be really worth using if you pull a ton and get their characters completely maxed out. So if you want the novelty of the character, like if you want them in your hero box and you don't want to see their just little like gray silhouettes down here or whatever, I'm going to summon just for that fact alone, just the fact that I want the hero in general. I probably won't end up using them too much, which is a little, sad, but a lot of these characters are kind of just like duplicates of other units that are going to be coming to the game already or are already in the game. Eren's moveset to start off with is a lot like Green Escanor, if you haven't already heard that, and once he transforms, he gets a moveset that's a lot more like Red Escanor. And I mean, I think a lot of people would rather run the Escanor units than they would running, a gimmicky sort of Eren. I think Levi pretty much mimics Blue Zeldris, who is not on global at the moment, but I think a lot of people, once Zeldris ends up coming to the game, they'll probably want Zeldris, not only for his moveset, but Zeldris has got the cool factor on him. So does Levi, but Zeldris is, you're playing this game to be playing 7 Deadly Sins, and I think a lot of people are going to be really drawn to Zeldris when he comes out. So I don't know. I just don't really see it being super good. Like, I think these units will end up dropping off. I'm interested to end up seeing how the meta sort of shifts with these characters being out when they are on global, because obviously they came out a lot later on JP, and there was a lot of other characters and different kinds of units that they were going to be going up against. So hopefully they do well on the global version of the game. Hopefully all of the stuff that I'm saying ends up being a little bit a little wrong. Like, I'm okay with being wrong. If they end up turning out to be pretty good on global, then by all means, like, take the time to actually look into it and see whether or not the units are actually worth it. Let time pass a little bit and see how they end up doing in the meta. But just off of like first glance, they're really not super great. Like, I mean, they're okay, but they just kind of have the sort of novelty collab sort of flair to them, which is the big summoning point. If you're a free-to-play unit and you're thinking about summoning, or you're kind of on the fence, I would recommend kind of skipping. If you don't really care about the AoT units, then I would definitely recommend skipping. But at the end of the day, the game is all about having fun and, you know, getting the characters that you want to play with and mess around with and stuff like that. If it makes you happy to have these units, then by all means, summon on the banner. I'm going to summon on the banner because I want to have the units. That's just how I play the game. I'm not super competitive or anything like that. I understand that I'm not going to max these characters out or anything, but I'm going to have fun getting them and trying to max them out to UR at least. Probably not going to go past UR 60 with them just because I don't think they're going to be very viable, and I would rather have the units that their skills kind of mimic. Like, I'm pretty sure Mikasa goes after one of the Derrieres. I'm not quite sure which Derriere she copies. I'm pretty sure it's the red one. But, I mean, I would much rather have Derriere than I would Mikasa, really. And I would much rather have Zeldris than Levi. So, it just depends on your own situation. If you're willing to spend some diamonds on it, by all means, you know, do a couple multis, do whatever you want to do. But don't go super overboard if you're really on the fence about it. You know, just save your diamonds. It's cool. Like, I mean, the collab units really don't come back yet. Like, there's been no word as far as JP goes that the units do come back to the game, because the slime collab units still haven't returned on JP yet. So it's really going to be kind of up in the air. Hopefully at some point they'll end up bringing them back around, so people who missed out on it could try to get them at some point. But, I mean, you know, just kind of put your own opinions and thoughts into it and really give it a hard think and figure out whether or not you personally think it's going to be worth summoning on the banner. Because, I mean, I'm not you. I've got my own diamonds to look after. Obviously, you know what's best for your own account. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have the money and you actually would rather just get, like, if you actually want to go for just an AoT collab unit, you could potentially buy. I'm pretty sure there's a bundle. Yeah, this one right here, the guaranteed SSR bundle. You literally have a guaranteed chance to get one of the 3 SSR units right here. So, I mean, if you have the money to spend on it, I'm going to try to stay away from this if I don't have to. If I can end up pulling them with a decent amount of diamonds, that would be fantastic. But if I end up buying, like, needing to try to buy this to try to save some diamonds, I might end up doing it. But who knows? Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully I can help sway your opinion one way or the other, just to kind of help you guys get off the fence and figure out whether or not you actually want to summon. But that's pretty much all the info I got for you. Hopefully it was helpful. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next video.